Someone recently said that what I do is walk around site sprinkling fairy dust all day. And you know what? They're dead right. If you wonder how you go from being the person whose great ideas are constantly ignored to the one that everyone follows without everyone even knowing that it's happening, you're not alone. I used to be stuck in this bottom left quadrant. Ignored, overtrained, and winging it. Trying to change the world, but getting buried in all the noise. Here's the thing that they don't tell you. Trying to change everything doesn't work. And reading every book and listening to every podcast, that doesn't work either. And trying to do it all on your own, that definitely doesn't work. So what changed for me? I stopped trying to do more and I started doing the right things deliberately. I focused on what actually moves the needle. Running better meetings, structuring with process, and most importantly of all, having a wingman. It's called 3-dimensional training or deliberate practice. Now what happens is I show up, I sprinkle a little bit of my fairy dust, and because I've done it all before and I know what to focus on, things start to shift. The real villain here isn't your lack of knowledge or other people trying to hold you back. It's being stuck in the wrong quadrant and trying too hard. Spending years and years trying to prove yourself instead of compressing it into a few months with a clear process, a small group, and a bit of coaching. And that's exactly what this live training in school is all about. If you've ever thought I could do what Beanie does, you're 100% right. You can. And I'll show you exactly how I did it. This is not a theory session. It's based on real tools, doing your reps, and a few tricks that I picked up along the way. So it's over to you. Do you want to spend years spinning your wheels or learn how to compress it into a few months? Come and hang out inside school and I'll break it all down for you. We'll have a bit of fun and you might even get to sprinkle a bit of your own fairy dust. I'll show you how to move from being ignored to being a catalyst. Right, if you're on a project and that sounds like you can see what needs to get fixed. You're constantly getting ignored. The place is chaos. You know that you can help. I'm going to show you how to move today from ignored to catalyst and from it taking years to making this move quick, happening in the next couple of months. All right, before we crack on, there is no before we crack on, we're going to crack on. We're going to get on with this story. I've set this timer for 15 minutes. We're going to try and keep this video to under that. What happens is, we've got our 4 quadrants here, okay? Down in this bottom quadrant, it's probably where you're stuck at the moment. I know I spent years stuck there myself by doing the wrong things. And I'll show you what those wrong things are. So because you're stuck in that bottom quadrant, you're getting ignored. Because what we're doing down here, AVE, we're doing what, despite how legendary we tell ourselves are, we're doing what the average does. 70% of change management fails, and it fails because of what we're doing that's keeping you stuck down in this corner, right down here. Not after today. You're going to learn what you need to do to get out of that corner. Up the top, and this box up here, or this too, we're getting ignored. And you can get I certainly did, stuck in this quadrant down here for years and years and years, spinning your wheels. What we want to do is learn what a catalyst does. How you move from getting ignored to the person that everyone looks at. The one where you walk around site and they go, what's he doing? He's just sprinkling fairy dust. But everyone pays attention to what you're doing. This is what outliers do, not the average. So up in this quadrant up here, you're a catalyst. You're doing what the outliers are doing. And because we're doing it well, it takes months, not years. So slow, fast. Average, ignored, catalyst, outlier. Right, let's see what traps are keeping you stuck down in here. When I say this can take years, over the last 5 years, just the last 5 years alone, I've been doing this stuff since mid-2000s, okay? Really started to get traction in the last 18 months. Time training in the last 5 years for myself, minimum 6,000 hours that I've put in. That's outside work hours. That's not doing this stuff inside work. That's just outside work hours. Because I listen to all the gurus. What they told you is you just need to read plenty of books, change your mindset, listen to podcasts, fuel your brain. Those things are all important. But if we do it deliberately, we do the right books at the right time, we can move way quicker. I've read hundreds of books. If you have a look around here, I'll spin you, see if I can spin you around. I'll show you cut the shelves I've got of books. So these are just, where are you going there? You've gone too far. Come back. What'd you go around there? That's just cut the shelves of books that I've got. I've read 95% of what's in that shelf, okay? Going to show you, you only need 2 books. I'll show you which ones they are. You tried, and this is typical of the person down in this corner down here that wants to move from ignored to changemaker, the catalyst. You try fixing everything, because everything's going so wrong. Got to fix this. Constantly racing from fire to fire to fire to fire, trying to fix everything. Mistake. That keeps you trapped down here as well. We tried changing the world. Everyone can just see what we're doing. They'll get on board. We just need to get everyone on board and we'll be able to fix this. Wrong. That's not the right approach. It keeps you stuck down there. You're also winging it. No load structure. We love chaos in the construction industry. Make it up, make it real. That's right. Keeps us stuck down here as well. Keeps us spinning our wheels for years and years and years. I'm really good at it. I don't need structure. I don't need coaching. Don't need anyone's help. You do. We try to do it on our Pat Malone. Try to do this by ourselves because we're good at what we do. We're good on the tools. That's why we stepped up into a supervisor's role, leading hands role, superintendent's role, construction manager, project manager. We were good at that lower level when we just had to worry about ourselves or work at our Pat Malone. You want to get up into here, really be the change agent, stop getting ignored and be the catalyst, you got to lose that mentality. All right. How do we speed this up? Firstly, I spoke to 6,000 hours down here, which is way more than that. You might have heard a quote of 10,000 hours, which is actually incorrect. In the book by Anders Ericsson, who studied outliers, he found out that deliberate practice is what separated the outliers from the ignored or the average. Deliberately practicing and getting better. We do deliberate practice on this stuff down in this corner down here. Instead of taking years, we can compress this to months, because all we need to get it, to make it into the top 5% is 100 hours of deliberate practice. In that top 5%, you're going to move from ignored, you're going to move up to a catalyst. The way that I do this is in what I call sprints. So I'll set myself a target. I do it by 4 by 6 week sprints. I'm not saying that you're going to do the 400 hours in those 6 week sprints. You may well do. I don't know. I don't know what time you have up your sleeve. But if you do 4 6 week sprints, even an hour a day, or they say over a year, I think it works out to do your 100 hours over a year is something like 16 and a half minutes a day is all you need to do to put into deliberate practice. But we've got to be deliberately practicing the right things, because we try and do too much. What we do down here, fix the world, we'll stay stuck. 2 books that you need. Legacy, what the All Blacks can teach us about the business of life, and Lean Made Simple. They're the only 2 books that you need to be deliberately practicing on to start with. Legacy is the why. Why do we need to create something different? Lean Made Simple is the how. How and the why, marry them together, rocket fuel. All right, tried fixing everything. So what we're going to do is focus on nailing your meetings. Run the Room is a program that I have inside construction school that I call it. I'm literally teaching people how to nail their meetings, how to get the most out of it, particularly one of the meetings in here is called the morning meeting, which is probably your pre-start. You nail the pre-start. Really get it sinking. Running like no one else's is. People will start to talk about it. I've seen this on big sites, even over in the Western Rio Tinto. We had one guy over there. He used to really nail his pre-starts. He got spoken about. People at high levels knew about it. He moved from ignored to catalyst purely because of the way that he ran his pre-starts. I was known for it on that job as well. The way that I used to ended up, I was on client side, I used to run all of the meetings, all of the weekly progress, interface meetings, all those sorts of things. I used to get called on for it all the time to run the meetings. You nail this, you will move from ignored, and thinking back to it now, that was exactly the time when I nailed my meetings, exactly the time that I moved from the ignored up to catalyst, where I got a job where they say that I walk around sprinkling fairy dust all day. Thank you very much, Tony. A little analogy, but I love it. It works really well. Instead of changing the world, you're going to start small. When I say small, I'm talking 5 people. There's reasons behind that. It's all to do with communications. We think we need to get everyone on board. And the Patrick Lencioni quote is, if you get all the people in an organisation rowing in the same direction, you could dominate any market at any industry under any conditions at any time, which is true. But you don't get them all rowing in the same direction by trying to get them all rowing in the same directions to start with. You start with a small group, build your muscle, and you work well out. Winging it. Make it up, make it real. Lose that saying. What we need to be here is very process driven. Process gets thrown a word. It's a word that gets thrown around quite a lot these days. Most people don't even understand what a good process is. Pretty much everything you do is a outcome of a process, but there is different levels of process. There is very poor processes to exceptional processes. There is processes that the average do that get ignored, and there's processes that the catalysts do that move them from there to there. Those processes are in this book, Lean Made Simple. Everything you need to know about process is in that book. So we need to be process driven. And this one, I've left it to last, but this is the most important of all. And I've misspelled it straight out of the block, so that's a good start. Beanie, a wingman. Someone that's got your back. Someone that when everything's going wrong and you need to trust the process and stick with it, says, let's just keep going. Someone when you want to quit, they're there to say, we're not quitting today. We're going to do one more. The best example I had of this last project that I was just on, two of us used to go to the gym in the morning. My success rate of getting to the gym when my wingman was out on site at the same time as me was 100%. Never didn't turn up when he was going, when we both said we're going to go. My success rate of turning up to the gym by myself when I didn't have my wingman was, I'm going to say, somewhere between 30 to 40%. It was less than 50-50. Sometimes I go, sometimes I wouldn't. Wingman gets you through where your discipline wants to give up. Right, so we're going to do a really quick recap. Then what I'm going to do is play the video for you again that I had at the start of this video. Watch that, see if it resonates. I'll throw a link up if you want to come across and have a look at construction school and see whether Run the Room might be for you, or even if you just want to do the free stuff that's in construction school, that's fine. Jump across and have a look. So what we said is we want to move from ignored up to being a catalyst. What the outliers do. We don't want to be average, we want to do what the outliers do. To do that, we don't need to spend all this time training, thousands of hours. We need to do deliberate practice for 100 hours. Bust it into 4, 6-week sprints. However you make that happen. As I say, over 12 months, it's about 16 minutes a day. Don't need to read hundreds of books, watch thousands of videos and listen to thousands of podcasts. That doesn't hurt. But we don't need to do it. We need to focus on the book Legacy, the why behind what we're doing, and Lean Made Simple, the how. How we're going to make this happen. We're not going to try and fix everything. We're going to nail our meetings. Particularly your morning meetings, your pre-start, first up, that sets the tone for the day. We're not going to try changing the world anymore. We're going to start small. Maximum 5 people when you start out. Okay? Stop winging it. We're going to move from winging it. Winging it's for amateurs. Average wing it. Outliers, professionals are process driven. All the processes that you need are in lean, mate, simple. When you give up, try and do this on our Pat Malone. You're going to find a wingman, the person that's going to have your back when things are tough and you want to give up. Because there is a learning curve to this. Progress is not linear. You might not see much traction for the first 30, 60, 90, 120 days. Some point you will hit a point of inertia, whatever you want to call it, where you'll start to really ramp up. But you've got to get through, how's that for time? You got to get through that slow, painful part to start with, so that you can move out of here, up into here. All right, take that, use it, make it a great week. I'll flick you over to the other beanie now, and I'll shoot that link up where you go across and check school out. Speak soon. Someone recently said that what I do is walk around site sprinkling fairy dust all day. And you know what? They're dead right. If you wonder how you go from being the person whose great ideas are constantly ignored to the one that everyone follows without everyone even knowing that it's happening, you're not alone. I used to be stuck in this bottom left quadrant. Ignored, overtrained, and winging it. Trying to change the world, but getting buried in all the noise. Here's the thing that they don't tell you. Trying to change everything doesn't work. And reading every book and listening to every podcast, that doesn't work either. And trying to do it all on your own, that definitely doesn't work. So what changed for me? I stopped trying to do more and I started doing the right things deliberately. I focused on what actually moves the needle. Running better meetings, structuring with process, and most importantly of all, having a wingman. It's called 3-dimensional training or deliberate practice. Now what happens is I show up, I sprinkle a little bit of my fairy dust, and because I've done it all before and I know what to focus on, things start to shift. The real villain here isn't your lack of knowledge or other people trying to hold you back. It's being stuck in the wrong quadrant and trying too hard. Spending years and years trying to prove yourself instead of compressing it into a few months with a clear process, a small group, and a bit of coaching. And that's exactly what this live training in school is all about. If you've ever thought I could do what Beanie does, you're 100% right. You can. And I'll show you exactly how I did it. This is not a theory session. It's based on real tools, doing your reps, and a few tricks that I picked up along the way. So it's over to you. Do you want to spend years spinning your wheels or learn how to compress it into a few months? Come and hang out inside school and I'll break it all down for you. We'll have a bit of fun and you might even get to sprinkle a bit of your own fairy dust. I'll show you how to move from being ignored to being a catalyst.